The film begins with news broadcasts announcing the spread of the rabies virus among humans. These broadcasts explain that cases of the virus have been detected in several countries worldwide, prompting the World Health Organization to declare a state of maximum alert. Despite many doctors and scientists confirming that this virus is contagious and spreading rapidly across the globe, governments have not imposed any travel restrictions. On the other hand, some scientists believe that the cases of infection with the virus have not been confirmed yet. We then move to a character named Gerry, who is seen driving with his family. While driving, Gerry and his wife Karen feel something strange happening around them, as 3 helicopters fly overhead within just 5 minutes. Trying to understand what is going on, Gerry turns on the radio, and he and his wife hear news about the spread of the rabies virus in over 12 countries. However, they don't pay much attention to the news and change the station. Suddenly, a police officer riding a motorcycle passes by Gerry's car and breaks the car's side mirror. Gerry gets out to attempt to fix the mirror, but another officer asks him to return to the car and not get out. Gerry complies and gets back in the car, confused by the situation. Suddenly, a garbage truck speeds by, hits the officer, and kills him, continuing to collide with the cars in front, causing massive destruction. Gerry decides to follow the garbage truck to figure out what's happening, but it flips over in the middle of the road, creating chaos. At that moment, an ambulance crashes into Gerry's car, causing an accident. Fortunately, Gerry, his wife, and their daughters, Rachel and Connie, manage to get out of the car unharmed. As everyone exits the car, Gerry notices people running in all directions, as if they are fleeing from something. Gerry sees a strange-looking woman attacking another car, trying to break the glass by banging her head against it to get to the people inside. She succeeds in breaking the glass, prompting the driver to try and escape. However, she catches him and bites his hand. Gerry continues to watch as the bitten person begins to gradually transform into a form similar to the woman who attacked him, acting exactly like her by smashing car windows to attack the people inside. Gerry decides to move quickly with his family, so they get into the nearest car and drive fast to escape the city. During their escape, one of the infected attacks them through the car window, but Karen fights him off with kicks, causing him to fall onto the road. Gerry manages to get away and leave the city, but things become complicated when his daughter, Richie, starts showing asthma symptoms. Karen tells Gerry that she forgot her bag containing Richie's medicine in their old car. Gerry stops to check on his daughter, and during this time, he receives a call from Terry, a senior official at the United Nations. During the call, we learn that Gerry used to work as a field investigator for the United Nations, but had left his job some time ago. Terry asks Gerry to return to work due to the disaster they are facing and asks him to provide his location so they can send a plane to rescue him. Gerry tells Terry what happened to him and his family, assuring him that he will get his daughter her medicine first before providing his location. After ending the call, Gerry heads to the nearest store with a rifle he found in the car, and he and his family get out. Karen and Connie enter the store to get food, while Gerry takes Richie to the pharmacy to buy her medicine. As soon as Gerry gets the medicine, he hears his daughter Connie screaming. He rushes to her to find 2 people trying to assault Karen. Gerry quickly intervenes, shooting the attackers and managing to protect his family. They all leave the store, only to discover that their car has been stolen. Karen suggests they hide in a nearby apartment building, and Gerry agrees, so they move quickly. Inside the building, Gerry calls Terry again and gives him their location. Terry tells him that a plane will be sent to rescue them from the roof at sunrise. Gerry and his family reach the building and enter quickly, where Gerry closes the door behind them, but the infected manage to break into the building. As they climb the stairs, they find an apartment where the owners allow them to enter and hide with them. Inside the apartment, Gerry turns on the radio, and they hear a statement from the state police station. The statement warns citizens not to leave their homes and urges them to store enough food and water for at least 2 weeks due to the spread of an unknown virus that turns the infected into monsters that attack humans. At sunrise, Gerry and his family begin to move towards the roof of the building, but they are attacked by the infected. Gerry bravely fights them off and kills them all. During the confrontation, some of the infected's blood enters Gerry's mouth. Karen reaches the roof with their daughter and lights a flare to signal the plane to their location. Gerry catches up with them, carrying the child he saved from the apartment after his parents had turned into infected due to being bitten. Once Gerry reaches the roof, he closes the door behind him and approaches the edge of the roof. He makes the difficult decision to be ready to jump if any signs of transformation appear, to ensure the safety of his family. However, he waits for a moment, watching closely, and realizes that he is not transforming. The plane arrives just in time, and everyone runs towards it and boards. The plane transports them to a ship in the sea, where Terry greets them and directs them to a safe area. Later, Terry meets with Gerry and informs him of the deteriorating situation, including the death of the U.S. president, the disappearance of the vice president, and many other officials. Meanwhile, Gerry attends a meeting led by virologist Vasbak, who discusses with military leaders the global spread of the virus. Vasbak explains that the only solution is to find the virus's origin to develop an antidote. He adds that the infected are referred to as zombies, a term originating from a camp in South Korea, which is believed to be the source of the infection. During the meeting, the naval commander informs Gerry that he has been selected to accompany Vasbak to South Korea as the best field investigator in the United Nations. However, Gerry initially refuses the mission, stating that his family needs him during this crisis. The commander clarifies that staying on the ship without assisting would be pointless, forcing Gerry to accept the mission. Before leaving, Gerry tells his wife what happened and gives her a mobile phone to stay in touch with her daily to check on her and the children's well-being. Afterward, Gerry boards a military plane with Vasbak and a special forces team led by Commander Spike, who is responsible for the team's protection. During the flight, Vasbak explains to Gerry that the virus should leave behind clues that can help identify its origin. Once these clues are found, an antidote can be developed to save humanity. The plane continues its journey until it reaches South Korea, where it lands on a completely deserted runway. Gerry, Vasbak, and the Special Forces soldiers disembark with their weapons, only to discover that the airport is filled with corpses. Suddenly, a large number of zombies appear and attack the soldiers, leading to a violent battle. Amid the chaos, Vasbak panics and tries to return to the plane, but he slips on the ground, accidentally firing his gun. A bullet from his weapon strikes his head, killing him instantly. In the midst of the combat, a group of soldiers stationed at the military base arrives and manages to rescue Gerry and his team, taking them to the base. There, the soldiers explain to Gerry that sounds attract the zombies, and shooting their bodies doesn't kill them unless the shots hit their heads. They also point out that burning them is the most effective way to eliminate them. Later, the soldiers take Gerry to a completely burned room, where they explain that this room used to be a medical clinic containing the bodies of 16 individuals. One of the soldiers recounts what happened. A doctor was treating a patient infected with the virus, but the patient had not yet transformed. Suddenly, the patient turned into a zombie and bit the doctor, leading to the doctor's transformation. He then attacked his colleagues, who also turned into zombies. The soldiers were forced to burn the entire room to contain the disaster. Gerry also meets an intelligence officer who has been locked in the base after suffering a mental breakdown due to the trauma of seeing the zombies. When Gerry meets the officer, he notices that the officer has removed all his teeth to prevent himself from biting others if he were to turn into a zombie. During their conversation, the officer reveals that Palestine is the only country that successfully managed to fend off the zombies, thanks to building high walls that prevented the zombies from reaching them. The officer advises Gerry to travel to Jerusalem to meet a person named Jurgen to get more details. Convinced by the officer's words, Gerry requests that his team move immediately towards Jerusalem to continue their mission. However, they face a problem. The plane needs to be refueled first. Therefore, everyone moves towards the plane using bicycles to avoid making any noise that could attract the zombies. During this, Karen calls Gerry to check on him, but the sound of the phone draws the attention of the zombies. Everyone rushes towards the plane. Meanwhile, a group of soldiers is stationed on top of a tall building, where they are shooting at the zombies and managing to kill them. One of the soldiers drives a fuel truck from another route and successfully fills the plane's fuel tank. At that moment, Gerry reaches the plane and climbs into the cockpit next to the pilot. The plane takes off, heading towards Jerusalem. During the flight, Gerry calls Karen, hiding what has happened, and reassures her that he is fine. He also tells her that he is on his way to Palestine to continue his mission there. Upon arriving in Jerusalem, he meets a person named Jürgen, one of the leaders of the occupying army. Gerry asks Jürgen why he ordered the construction of high walls, to which Jürgen responds that they had read an article by an Indian writer who discovered the emergence of zombies in India. Based on this, the leadership of the occupying army decided to take a proactive step to avoid repeating the mistake that led to their defeat against the Egyptians in the 1973 war, when they dismissed information out of overconfidence in their invincibility. Gerry is surprised by Jürgen's decision to build the wall based on unverified information, but he remains silent. Afterward, Jürgen takes Gerry to the wall built around the city of Jerusalem. Gerry sees people inside the wall celebrating and singing loudly, which attracts the attention of the zombies outside the wall. The zombies begin to gather at the wall and create a human ladder, enabling them to climb over the wall and attack everyone in the city. The soldiers attempt to fend off the zombies and kill them, but the zombies manage to overpower them. Amid the chaos, a soldier named Sig asks Gerry to accompany her to reach the airport. During their escape, Gerry notices that the zombies avoid attacking an elderly man, passing by him without getting close. Gerry and Sig run through the alleys between the houses, trying to avoid the zombies, but things get worse when a zombie pounces on a soldier who was with them. The soldier has no choice but to blow himself up with a grenade to kill the zombies surrounding him. Gerry and Sig continue their path toward the airport, but they encounter a massive number of zombies in the street. They decide to enter the nearest alley to escape. During this, Gerry notices a young man moving through the zombies without them noticing him, as if they don't see him at all. Gerry starts to think that there is something special about this young man and the elderly man he saw earlier, which prevents the zombies from attacking them. At that moment, a zombie attacks Sig and bites her hand. Without hesitation, Gerry takes out a knife and cuts off Sig's hand to prevent the virus from spreading through her body. He stays with her for a while to ensure she won't turn into a zombie. Once he is sure, he bandages her wound, and they continue their way toward the airport. Upon reaching the airport, they are surprised to find the plane about to take off. Gerry and Sig rush toward the plane and manage to stop it just in time. After boarding the plane, Gerry calls Terry to inform him of what happened and asks him to identify the nearest medical facility they can reach. Though Terry doesn't understand the reason, he agrees to help and asks Gerry to hand the phone to the pilot for guidance. During the flight, one of the flight attendants goes to the plane's storage, only to be shocked to find a zombie hiding there. The zombie attacks her and bites her, causing the virus to spread among the passengers at the back of the plane. Gerry hears the noises and goes to see what's happening. He realizes that the passengers in the back have turned into zombies, so he tries to prevent them from advancing by using bags to create a barrier. However, one of the passengers makes a mistake and drops a bag, which attracts the zombies' attention. They rush toward the other passengers, and everyone in the back of the plane turns into zombies. At this critical moment, Gerry takes a grenade from Sig and detonates part of the plane, throwing the zombies out of the aircraft. The plane crashes upon hitting the ground, but it is not completely destroyed. Gerry and Sig survive the crash, despite their injuries. They try to walk together to reach the medical facility that Terry pointed out. However, once they arrive, they collapse due to their injuries. When the news of the plane crash reaches the leadership aboard the ship, they consider the mission a failure. During this time, Gerry's family is transferred from the ship to a refugee camp, which is considered to be safer. As for Gerry, he wakes up in the medical facility to find that he has been unconscious for 3 days. The doctors inform him that they have treated his injuries, but they inquire about his identity and how he arrived at the facility. Gerry requests to use one of the doctor's phones to contact Terry, who introduces himself to the doctors and explains Gerry's identity. Gerry feels distressed when he learns that his family has left the ship, but Terry reassures him that they are safe. Terry then asks the doctors to provide a deadly yet treatable virus, explaining that this virus will serve as camouflage against the zombies, as they don't recognize individuals with serious illnesses and tend to avoid them. Gerry adds that he noticed this himself with the elderly man and the sick young man, who were not attacked by the zombies. The doctors inform him that the required viruses are located in a nearby lab, but the problem is that the lab is overrun with zombies after all the doctors there turned. They explain that there is a corridor linking the current building to the lab, but it is permanently closed to prevent the spread of zombies. Gerry makes a courageous decision to go to the lab, accompanied by Sig and one of the doctors to guide him. During their journey, the doctor accidentally makes noise, drawing zombies toward them. Sig is forced to shoot one of the zombies, but the sound attracts more. Realizing the danger, Gerry makes noise using a metal object to draw the zombies toward him, giving Sig and the doctor a chance to safely return to the building. Gerry reaches the lab and enters quickly. He finds numerous viruses and collects them in a box, but he realizes he must test one to see if it works. Relying on luck, he injects himself with one of the viruses and waits to see its effects spread through his body. Afterward, he opens the lab door and finds the zombies passing by him without attacking. The doctors rejoice when they see Gerry's plan has worked. Gerry then opens a vending machine, causing cans of soda to fall to the ground, making a sound that attracts all the zombies in the area toward him. He moves among them without them noticing, confident that the virus is protecting him. Finally, Gerry reaches his family in the refugee camp, where they welcome him with overwhelming joy. Later, the World Health Organization works on producing large quantities of the virus and distributing it worldwide. Countries use the virus to lure zombies into remote areas and eliminate them once and for all, bringing hope back to humanity. If you love movies and movie recaps, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more. Hit like if you enjoyed the video and share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.